Today on the show, Radical Ones, we continue our video game summer and journey to the Island of the Dead. It's 2003's House of the Dead.
I've been waiting for you for a long time.
It's time to get radical.
It has begun!
This is where I start to have fun.
Well, excuse me, princess.
My name is Alice. I work for the Umbrella Corporation.
The day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Fatality.
Shadow Demon, you shall not pass.
Hey, paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show!
Finish him!
Well, welcome back, Radical Ones, to another episode of the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. As always, I am your host, Radical Ryan Hunter, here with everyone's favorite brother in the same location, David. Hello.
I'm in the studio.
Radical Ones, if we sound a little different, it's because we're in the same location. David is out visiting with his family for a few more days, and of course, we had an episode to record, so we're doing it on one mic. Bear with us, Radical Ones. We still had to get this for you, so we hope you enjoy this, but...
We're transmitting from the top of the Empire State Building. Do you remember that? That was to be the local New York radio station, Z100.
Oh, Z100! They used to do that from the...
It's from the top of the Empire State Building, Z100. Anyway.
Well, from the top of the Empire State Building to the bottom.
The bottom of the barrel. When it comes to movie making. No.
We are doing the infamous House of the Dead movie, David, from 2003.
It was a nightmare. It all started a few days ago.
Where do you hide? When they're everywhere. What do you do when there's no way out? How do you kill what's already dead? Any way you can.
Like I said, it all started a few days ago.
Doesn't this bother any of you? We're on the island where the party of the year is supposed to be happening, but it's completely deserted.
Well, they sure as hell did not go to 7-Eleven to get more booze.
Can't hear anything.
Neither do I.
Run! There must be some kind of scientific explanation for this.
It's not human. It's like it's been mutated.
So, what now?
We send them back to hell.
Is that you, Matt?
Now, the only way to make it back alive is to send them all back to the House of the Dead.
I've been waiting for you for a long time.
It is described as a group of college students, and I want you to remember that, Radical Ones, college students travel to a mysterious island to attend a rave, which will soon be taken over by bloodthirsty zombies. This is, David, a prequel to the House of the Dead video game. It is a popular video game series. It's one of those ones you usually see in the arcade because it has the gun, the light gun. I think it's called the light gun. And it's a fast-paced game. games. So that might explain what is happening with the movie.
I just remember the horde of zombies and always having to reload really quickly. Reload.
Yes, it does. It would say reload, I think. Yeah. And you always would die because these zombies, much like the movie, I describe them, David, as they're basically like the Italian 70s ninja zombies from that movie, you remember? That will jump, use tools, use axes, and on super speed.
I feel like there was definitely a mixture of zombies. There was ones that almost looked like, how do I describe this? Almost like phony voodoo or tribal men faces.
Sugar Hill?
Like very a la Sugar Hill.
With the glowing eyes.
And there was,
the glowing
there
red
was some
eyes.
glowing eyes. There were ones that were disemboweled. There were ones that looked like they were fresher. Ones that were...
So I guess that was the ones that of the rave victims.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called
But they're very cognitive. Most of the... It's almost
Yeah.
like they're just like, we've got this group of tourists coming. It's time to kill them. Let you take this side. I'll take that side. Let's send out
a wave of zombies.
Let's send out some of our spies to look.
Oh,
find them and keep track of them. It was very...
There was cutouts of zombies just like in the woods. In the landscape.
Is that what you say?
Lurking in the woods.
Yeah.
This is an infamous movie. The director is let me get this right. Is he yes, he is German. He's a German filmmaker, and he is known for his video game adaptations. Radical Ones is the only film we are doing of Mr. Uwe Boll's Uwe Boll's video game adaptations, and he's done everything from Alone in the Dark. Literally, this man, he does video games. This is what he does. Yeah, this is
it's like that Elizabeth Chan who she only does Christmas music.
Oh yes,
I love her, by the way. But anyway,
I saw this back in 2003 with Dad at the local movie theater. I understand why this movie isn't good, but at the same time, I think if you just want a mindless fun, it's so bad that it's good. I think it does hold up in that sense. I mean, for being almost 20, over 20 years old at this point.
It should be like 21 years, right?
21, yeah, 2003 to
2024.
Oh, so yeah. Well, okay, so we'll get into it. So it's a prequel to the first House of the Dead, which came out in 1996. It was universally panned by critics, of course, and Boll continued his negative reputation in his career. We see a group of college students, Radical Ones, and the voiceover is amazing. The lead actor, his name is Rudy.
The movie starts off with like some techno sort of like music.
Crazy. It sounded like the Crazy Firestarter song, but a ripoff of it.
Yeah, like a knockoff Prodigy.
No.
Yeah, and then there's the voiceover of what you come to find out later on, the surviving character, Rudy, right?
Rudy.
Saying about all this death, everyone, no one survived.
They missed the boat to the rave. If only they decided to stay back in Seattle, they'd all be alive today.
The original game is known for its horrible voiceovers, but I don't think that's why they're doing this.
You must stop Curian, or else something terrible will happen.
It was like the actor was just so dry in his delivery, and he's like, if only they had missed the boat and stayed in Chicago. But he gives a rundown of all the characters, and it's a soap opera. Mm-hmm. It's like, this one is with this one. I used to date the other lead, Alicia, but they had to break up because of her fencing, David. The fencing, and he had to study, and it was could not work. Could not work.
I cannot be with you.
We could not work with the fencing and the studying. Now, so they break up.
I can't believe that you would rather fence than be with me.
But that comes back, David. That comes back from the first movement.
And I guess he's happy that she learned to fence.
And get breast implants.
Greg and Simon. Greg's the guy I played ball with in college. A good guy, if not a little goofy. Simon. They say God doesn't give with two hands, and they were right. You got the looks, but not much between those ears. Cynthia. Greg's girlfriend. Pure eye candy.
I'm, Simon.
Karma thinks she's Foxy Brown. She has a crush on Simon, but Simon only has eyes for Alicia, my ex. We broke up a few weeks ago so I could study and she could fence. She loves it. I don't see what it's good for.
But then he's telling the other characters, this one's with this one, and this one thinks she's Foxy Brown. They get to this woman, Cynthia, but he didn't mention that Cynthia is a 40-year-old college student. That woman, there's no way that woman was in college.
She's never been kissed.
Unless she was, yes, Drew Barrymore and went back to school. That's that.
I was trying my best to function as a single guy should. But at the back of my head, something was nibbling away at my subconscious.
So the whole thing is they miss the boat.
The original, I guess, that took most of the ravers, the clubgoers, to the island.
But then if it's known as, and you know Spanish better than I do, how to pronounce it, but Islos de los Muertos, so it's like, it's known as Island of the Dead.
Yeah.
Isla del Muerte.
Muerte. That's Spanish for death. In case you don't speak Mexican.
If no one wants to go there, how the hell did that original boat get there? It was a Sega boat that was made by Sega.
If you know, then you know.
Yeah.
No, the original boat was probably like a chartered boat. The whole thing is that they make it come off as like these kind of, I don't want to say rich, but like like they come from money, so they kind of are able to.
That one guy had $1,000 in cash in his wallet.
So yeah, long story short, they missed the original boat, which is never really described or seen.
Never
right?
seen, because they could have used that to come back. Possibly.
Or seen. They end up meeting a fishing captain and his first mate,
which is Clint Howard, which is Ron Howard's brother,
and he's been in. We know him.
He's always in like these kinds of.
He
movies.
always plays like a kooky character, like the Igor sort of,
yes,
like the Renfield sort of esque vibe going on.
And in this one, he is doing the same thing. He's the first mate, like David said, but he's dressed like the Gordon fisherman, and he has a hook. So it's like, oh look, ding ding ding! I know what you did last summer, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Why? They always ask why.
He's against this because he knows about the island. The captain, who is not even going to pronounce it, but
he is a known actor. I've seen him in a few things.
Something German, I think.
Jürgen
Prochnow. He plays Captain Kirk. So
they do make a reference. Really? Are you kidding? Captain Kirk? He's like, yes, Captain Kirk.
I don't like no Captain Kirk jokes. Now let's shove off. Before you say something else, you'll regret.
They are convinced with the $1,000, or at least Captain Kirk is, to take them to the island at least.
I guess my question is, okay, so islands and places get names for many reasons.
Yes.
Like Island of the Dead could be because nothing grows there, or it's barren. Right. Many years ago, a shipwreck,
plague or something.
Everyone died on the island. So if this place is that infamous that it's uncomfortable for these fishermen to go there, why would they, even for the money,
make a rave?
If it's dangerous or in some way, we don't know. Like, what if it was like plague, or it was an island filled with snakes, poisonous, whatever it is. Why would they even agree, even for the $1,000, if they're so adamant about not going to this island? Because they would have to bring them to a dock. They would actually have to dock.
Right,
they couldn't be like, okay, take a swim, for another mile.
A little lifeboat.
We're not going to go to the island because it's that scary. Like, what do they know other than the name of it?
Nothing, right? Besides, Sega is doing a rave there.
Yeah.
Sega sponsored. We invoke your video game.
Sega.
Yeah. With that, David, we get the famous, it's like the Sailor Moon cutaways where they used to do a tiara. We get video game cutaways to the actual video game. Now, people have said this is stupid.
I love it.
But
I actually love it. I think I think it really adds to it. I get why maybe people would say it but it I don't know. Like, if you played the video game first, obviously before watching the movie, you would totally get a charge out of it.
Right.
Because like the movie, there's hordes of zombies that come after you at one time. I remember saying, when the hell are these, even as a kid, when are they going to give me a break? When are the zombies going to, they just keep coming. And to see the video, I guess because considering the graphics of the video game versus an actual live action movie, it kind of, but I feel like it added to it.
Yeah, but I think it adds to, the cult status that it must have at this point too. The so bad it's good. But I agree. He actually, there's this one director, Mr. Bowles. At least he literally wants you to feel like the video game because he's putting the footage in. Now, okay, maybe it doesn't automatically do that, but there's even a part when one of the zombies throws an axe like they do in the video game and they show you.
Here's the thing. So they get to the island. There's nobody there. Now, first of all, at that point, would you not have... They're not drunk. They're not on drugs or anything. They're not partying yet.
Just on nudity.
Wouldn't you, at that point
leave.
Be like, there's something wrong here. Everything is trashed.
Doesn't this bother any of you? We're on the island where the rave of the year is supposed to be happening, but it's completely deserted.
Yeah, it worries me. It worries me they don't have any mixers. Simon cannot survive on butt alone.
Speak for yourself, dude.
Like,
Completely
it's
abandoned.
like what happened with, oh my God, recently. What was it? Not Burning Man. What was the thing that got ruined that was like horrible and people had to like pee in bottles and it was...
No, what is that? Like,
oh God, I can't think of it. It was like a big...
a festival.
Yeah, that like...
Fire Festival?
Yeah, anybody, if you know.
What's that one with the women? The Lilith Fair?
No.
Lilith Fair! Lilith Fair Festival.
No, my God, no. So...
But the rave is abandoned. It's trash.
At that point, I would have said, why did I pay $1,000 to get here? Get me back on that boat. We need to go.
Because they're there still. Because the other thing is, this captain is smuggling things. And the Coast Guard, Casper, who is only heard on ADR voiceovers for half of the movie. I don't even think she was there. They just show a boat in the distance. And they're like, pull over, Captain Kirk. Oh, it's like Mandora on our Thundercats.
I know where they're docking. Drop me off on the other side of the island.
You want me to radio for backup?
Nah. I think I can handle Victor myself.
She's like, I can't make it because of COVID.
I won't go to that island. That actress who plays Casper, you know where I know her from? Her name is Ellie Cornell. She was in Halloween 4 and 5. When you remember when they had the little girl Jamie, she was like the stepsister. So that's where she's from. So I guess she has this horror background, right? The only thing is, to your point, David, our lead Alicia does say a few times, isn't there something odd with this? Like, why are you not saying anything? She kept saying, isn't this odd? Why is this happening? You're not worried that this place is abandoned? They're not.
Look, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna go see if I can find out where everyone went. Okay? Is anyone else coming?
Because they just take advantage that, there's one couple, the one couple with the...
wants to have sex immediately, so So the funny thing is, there's a lot of boobs in this movie, too. Like, the girls think it's funny to expose their breasts to the
40-year-old woman.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to show these breasts off to these men. They can't have it.
She's in, like, a kitchen, and this is where, David, he tries to give her a cross. He goes, for your protection. Randomly, would it have worked, David? I don't know. She leaves it in the kitchen because she's topless and washing her top or something in the sink.
Oh, there was a vomit scene. The guy did.
Oh, yes. So that's why she got nudity. That's why she got nudity.
That's why she got nudity.
That's why she got nudity. So along with this, David, there is a house on this island, the House of the Dead. It has a graveyard around it. In the beginning, we had a Jaws-esque scene, ripoff, where the female nudity, she gets in the water, her boyfriend is too drunk or something on the beach, and she ends up she looks for the boyfriend. She thinks that he just disappears, and she ends up exploring and she finds this house, but
she almost gets pulled into the water.
Oh yes, with the Jaws inspired, literally down upshot, Jaws-esque music. She goes in there and she gets eaten by zombies. Her boyfriend is one of them. Then we cut to, yes, they're all on this island and some of them start to go around because they're like, oh, what's this? But the 40-year-old woman, and she's with that guy, but then they're in the tent, right? And honestly, David, it's not just because this movie is crazy. It made no sense. He's like, he gets up after having, stop having sex in this tent, and he's like,
he's gotta go pee.
Yeah, but it's like, it was so weird. She's like, don't do it in the corner or something like that. And he's like, I just gotta pee. It was so strange.
Don't take it personal, Greg. A lot of men have these sorts of problems. I didn't hear you, idiot.
Take a piss.
Go pee in the bushes.
Oh, gosh, I just gotta go and take a piss is all. All this beer has gotta go somewhere.
He ends up going out to pee, and that is when she is killed. Mm-hmm. She is killed, and then later on, this dude's face is taken by, I don't even know what the villain.
Big bad.
The villain of this movie.
Big bad.
Who is...
Slith? What is his name?
Is that what his name is?
He's bad. He's the bad guy.
He's unballs. He's unballs.
You know who the police officer reminds me of? The female. She reminds me. She's Cynthia Rothrock. Remember that?
Cynthia Rothrock.
You remember she was the
80s.
She was like the little tiny. She was a little tiny, like very short, but she did all the she was
with the short, blonde hair, just like that.
I used to love Cynthia Rothrock.
Is she alive still?
Yeah, she's like 67, I think.
She's like, she's just like that, 67.
Could you imagine?
Where is
your
this?
grandmother, Cynthia Rothrock? People start disappearing, and then there's people take notice of this.
Alicia included. The voice of reason. That fencing is what did it for her. The thing about this movie was the advertising only showed the one part where it's the villain, whatever this zombie creature is, which we find out is like a conquistador
priest who wants to discover immortality. There's a flashback where he's being hung.
Yes.
And he lives, obviously.
And he goes,
and he kills
and he raises his hands after it. So
he's like, ta-da!
It works. After all these years, it finally works. The blood lives like I said it would. Fantastic. Did you hear what I said? It works. I'm going to live forever. Forever.
But you know why? I think he hung himself, David, to see if his immortality thing worked. The movie marketing...
But then he turns into looking like a Frankenstein face.
Yes,
his face was perfectly fine.
It was sliced, like different slices of sewn together. The marketing was only this one scene of that Alicia and his close-up of her face when he licks her and he goes, I've been waiting for you for a long time.
I've been waiting for you for a long time.
What do you want?
I just want your flesh.
I thought he was going to make her
with the tongue.
His queen. He said, I want your skin.
Oh, that's why he wanted her.
Isn't that what he said?
And he's like, oh my God, and that breast implants will definitely do a good job for me.
They'll last longer than the body.
But why was he waiting for her for the skin then? For a long time.
I thought he was going to be like, you're my princess. You're my queen now.
That would have made, that's what it made it look like when the advertising. So I remember Dad even going oh my God, this scene with it was very intriguing. That was the advertising. I was waiting for you for a long time.
From what I understand, and I don't remember the actual first go around with it, as far as the advertising is concerned, this movie, there was a lot of money put into advertising it, and it was kind of like a red herring. No.
Yeah, a red herring,
They made it seem like something that it wasn't, and I think for some fans and people, it disappointed them because they felt like they were misled by the
advertising
campaign. And it was very different than the way it was advertised. And I guess there was a lot of stroking of egos.
Castillo is
the name of
the zombie, the lead.
I guess there was a lot of giveaways and free things and a lot of greasing palms to promote this movie. And then for a lot of people, I guess it didn't deliver. But honestly, I think a lot of people did like it.
Okay, so this is 2003, right? The remake of Dawn of the Dead hasn't come out yet. I think we're still kind of getting back into the zombie genre at this point in a way. Resident Evil, I think, might have come out, the first one, possibly.
So there's a few things, and you can kind of chime in on this. So there's parts of this movie where there's that freeze action, the spinning around of the character, the flashbacks, and that. Do you remember the way, and most people would know this, and again, for horror fans and for people who have watched The Walking Dead, there's the scene where in Nightmare on Elm Street, Alice is fighting Freddy, and she's doing all these karate moves and kicking, ha, 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 and you see fists, foot, feet, and it's this very sped up, boom, 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 boom. Or in The Walking Dead when the zombies break into their beautiful little setup they've got, and they all go on and you see them, Michonne slicing, he's got the bat, and it's this striking, all of a sudden it's these flashes of them using the weapons against the zombies in a very fast moving. That stuff is going on as the characters are spinning around and shooting.
Oh my God.
And
Charlie's Angels, 2000s Matrix.
Yes, it's very much all of that kind of intertwined, and then you have the flashes of the video games. So honestly, I appreciated it in a way.
I think so too.
But I also know for me, I don't like that when that is the majority. And I hate it that and people even with let's say the Blair Witch Project, that shaking film crap, after a while it gets annoying.
We never recovered from Cloverfield, I feel like. Remember we saw that and it was the shaky camera.
I don't like the shaky, and I don't like the just
flashing lights,
multiple jump scare, like, and then like the flashing stuff. I can appreciate it, and in this movie, I kind of appreciate it because the fact that it is a video game.
Yes,
he was trying to emulate.
Yes, and if you have an action game like David said, where you're continuously shooting something, I think you have to add.
He got the hordes of zombies, right?
I mean, the house. I don't know if it's really a house. It was a small little house.
It was a shack.
It was a shack.
It wasn't the Love Shack, and the B-52s were certainly not performing.
It's supposed to be a big house in the original one. So this one's kind of like
and there are different. I guess what made this movie keep going too is that they did change scenery often. They were running. They were first of all, there was the original when I call the Cynthia Rothrock captain, the police officer comes and then you find out there was a part where the creepy sea captain first mate dies because they're hiding guns on the island and the zombies get hit. And there's a scene where they're trying to get back to the boat, and the boat is being overtaken, and the captain is shooting.
I did like that, but one of the characters does try to get on the boat too, and he gets killed.
But here's the thing: I guess what also flipped the switch on this is that, and Ryan and I talk about this, like especially like the ongoing thing where I say everything's a weapon. You should have done this. You should have done that. All of a sudden, all the characters become well versed in every form of hand-to-hand hand-to-hand combat, and I'm sorry, I don't own a gun. I'm not saying that you can't point and shoot and know that but all of a sudden, like, you know how to detach a clip and cock the gun, and they're all able to like
two at a time
do all this stuff, and
Lara Croft style.
like Lara Croft.
Everyone had to use their weapons.
That's where it kind of, if they were if they were off-duty police officers going to a party, or if they were like from a military academy,
not just college rich kids,
because all college rich kids know how to do like kung fu and samurai warrior and like do the Matrix and everything else. Like that's where it flipped to the movie. But those characters did not emulate that. They were vapid. They were hoary. They were like stupid.
The only one that you could say was Alicia because she kept saying like, "There's something wrong here." She's a fencer.
She's a fencing champion.
Yeah, she's a fencer. Damn it.
So the fact that like there's the black girl, there's the Asian girl, there's the white guy, there's the nerdy one. Like there's like a little bit of everybody in there. So, but like, of course, the Asian girl knows how to do kung fu, and all of a sudden she's like in this like full on American flag bodysuit. Her name is Liberty. I mean, honestly, if my name was Liberty, I probably would pull the flag shit. I'm going to be honest.
Living her.
I would be like, I am Liberty. Even if you take my top down, I got star pasties on.
Yes.
You know, I would be Liberty.
She's in a full body.
And I actually
jumpsuit.
So she is doing the Matrix, bending down. She's taking on everybody without the weapons.
What about that house?
And it comes from nowhere, right? Because she's one of the survivors that survived the initial rave.
Yes.
But David's right. It's amazing. She should have survived just for pure...
I wanted her to survive. I would have preferred her over everybody else.
I agree. Because she even tried to help people. Like, there was some idiot, I don't know, forgot, one of the guys went into the water. And she, out of nowhere, she just decided to go in the water with a knife. She's killing zombies. It was amazing. It was amazing. To David's point, it's very video game-esque. And we have I want to say it's like a 9-minute battle. So, I mean, if you want action, it's literally non-stop shooting, weapons,
but it is
karate.
It is true to the video game, and that's why I appreciated it. But it did come off as, I don't want to say not disingenuous. That's not the word I'm looking for. It came off as, how could these people learn to be able to do this?
And they would never.
And they switched into video game mode because of the fact that it's so unrealistic. You have to just appreciate it the way it is. You know what I'm trying to say?
And that's what I think.
Because it's honestly, it does switch to the video game format, and then you see the flash of the video games. So that's, I guess, where you have to kind of accept it and say, hey, this is what happened, because these characters under normal circumstances would not be doing it.
And who said size doesn't matter?
Nice. But mine's bigger. Mossberg 500 stainless shotgun with incendiary shells.
I would not be able to do, like, all of a sudden,
none of them
do back bends and flips, and even though the adrenaline is pumping, would I fight really hard and get everything would be a weapon, because I would.
Well, everything would be a weapon,
but I wouldn't be able to. You can't manifest, martial arts skills out of nowhere.
No, and there's like a game over screen when one of the characters dies, and he flashes red as they spin. So they do these spins. It's the last film to use a turntable special technique for the 360 shots because of the risk of the actors being hurt or killed in the fast-moving camera. To me, I always thought they just put these people on a dolly. How is this killing people? It was even like slow motion, so if you're on a dolly...
There is a camera that's on a track.
So maybe that's what it is?
I think that's what it is, because you wouldn't have a character spinning on a platform.
No, yeah.
Like there is actually a Saturday Night Live skit
with that
where there's a guy singing. It's Will. I think it might be Will Ferrell.
Oh, so it's like
he's like singing some kind of like some Christmas special or something, and he's spinning around. He's like, and he starts vomiting because he keeps spinning and spinning, and it's getting faster and faster. But this is like the actual camera is on track. And
that's around. What it is. So the camera,
I guess maybe spinning. The weight the camera could fall, or
they're not probably spinning.
They're not spinning.
That makes more sense. I always thought they had these people just spinning around.
No, you lose your balance.
Don't do it to Liberty. Well, she was doing everything. So the other girl is Karma, who they said was Foxy Brown-esque. And she has this moment when Cynthia, the 40-year-old woman, dies. And I don't know if it was the worst acting or the best acting in the world. We just saw our best friend die. It was like the way she delivered it.
What the hell was that thing?
Our best friend.
Not anymore.
She's like a wild animal. Did you see her face? Oh my God. It's horrible.
Also a little older for college, but it's okay. It's okay.
And then she went into instant...
She was fighting too.
She was hardcore.
She literally, at the end, when it's only Alicia, her, and Rudy left, they're in the house, she's like, I'll take care of these guys. You go ahead.
I'll take care of these guys.
Instantly dead.
She sacrificed herself. They did a lot of sacrifice. And you would think that these people that came off very vapid and self-absorbed and whatever, they were very self-sacrificing.
Which was weird.
And there's also the part where they do discover Castillo's secret laboratory.
Yes.
They're looking, and look, then the nerdy guy, look, these cells are living tissue, even though they're dead. This is amazing. This could be the fountain of youth.
And they realize it's the blood that brings dead body, because he collects dead bodies too, and he brings them back to... So evidently he's literally bringing each body back himself. That's what it made it sound like. Also, they do mention that George Romero, he might be making Twilight of the Dead, and this predates, of course, we ended up getting Land of the Dead.
You may not want to believe it, but those are reanimated corpses, just like out of a fucking Romero movie.
A what?
A Romero movie, you know, like the Holy Trilogy, Night, Dawn, and Day. They say he's gonna make Twilight of the Dead one day, but I kind of doubt it, you know.
You're even calling back to the grandfather of zombies, which is always up our alley. I also wrote that I noticed Captain Kirk's boat was called the Lazarus 5. So Lazarus coming back from the dead. Casper, the voiceover queen, / Cynthia Rothrock.
Cynthia
Rothrock. She's the one who ends up like giving them the weapons, and she wants to get them off this island, which is nice. The crazy part is, poor girl got her legs cut off as she's trying to get inside of a window. But it doesn't stop her, radical ones, because the Sci-Fi Channel direct-to-TV sequel, Casper is back and in a wheelchair. You know, don't let dying in a house, because she died. I remember her stumps were on the ground bleeding out, and she was dead in that house.
Stumps on the ground, stumps on the ground. Looking like a fool with your stumps on the ground.
But I guess you can... They must have said, this is the one we need to bring back.
Casper, look at me. Casper, look at me. I need you to look at me. Okay? Look at me. Look at me. You saved us, okay? You saved us.
So here's the thing. There's the second to last battle between the horde of zombies and our characters, our group that's just slowly dwindling. They're trying to get into the house, and they're like, don't break the door, because then we won't be able to close it on the zombies.
Which
I
is
get
smart.
that, but if they would have shot the doorknob open,
yes,
and got in, they could have put whatever was there, like some sort of like whatever dresser, or what I guess assuming something's
a table, which they did end up having a table.
So the character, I guess the issue was that when they got into the window, that one of the was it Rudy that he waited too long, because I'll be honest with you, I would have said she's gonna die. Like he propped her up. He's like, let me get a blanket for her. I would have ran to the door first.
Evidently she lived David. So whatever he did,
he put a blanket over
on the two stumps that were bleeding out.
So I would have gone to the door first to let them in, to give them a chance.
Yeah, because they're waiting out there. Yeah, she's clearly
like,
dead.
We're out.
Clearly dead.
We're out. You know, out the ammo or whatever.
By the way, that rap song, it's stuck in my head now. It kept going, the Land of the Dead, Land of the Dead. I'm not Land of the Dead. House of the Dead. I'm Land of the Dead. You're coming to the house of the dead. But it was something. So they used 32 video game clips from the original game to
enhance them.
Yes, that's right. Which 26 appeared during the 10-minute battle in front of the house. The remaining 6 are used as transitions prior to battle. Yeah, we kind of get like a transition and then it cuts to a different scene. Our Rudy, he burned 30% of his hand on the second day of shooting. So they had to add a bandage to him as character to hide that. So when we finally come to Castillo's, it's our main character. We mentioned, I've been waiting for a long time. His only other line is to the man. He says, oh, maybe it's his face. He goes, I've been waiting a long time. So this is the only actor's 2 words. So he's waiting a long time for that guy and Alicia too. He literally says the same exact thing. I've been waiting a long time. Like that was his thing. He's a waiter.
Your body parts, they will serve me well for a long time. Beautiful.
The blood we found, the thighs of the creature. You created it all so you could be immortal. Why?
To live forever.
Doesn't he say though, like the one guy's that would give you immortality? He's like, live forever.
Yeah,
or something.
Live forever.
Dar, that's what immortality is.
That is. Live forever. So he makes a face mask out of that poor guy,
and they think he's still. We thought you were dead, and meanwhile he's
in a cloak,
wearing the skin. Yeah,
and
he's doing his best Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, he's wearing the skins. So
I'm the dungeon master, and I have this cloak on.
That looks like what's her name, the girl too. Which she had the thief. Yeah. Is she the thief?
Isn't it nice to know someone wants you for your body?
Yeah, depending on what they want.
The final battle, right, is outside of the house with Rudy, Alicia.
They go through a tunnel.
Yes, they go through a tunnel.
The zombies go into the house. They throw a grenade because Captain Kirk has been basically
smuggling
illegal weapons and
thankfully
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because that's what they use, right? I thought it was Casper, but no, they use the illegal weapons that he has. Yeah. A lot of running away explosion shots, which also equals breast jiggling.
Die Hard.
So here comes the full circle moment.
They think that they're free. They get out.
They're out of the house of the dead. They're out of the house of the dead.
I would have thought the zombies were still coming.
The fencing has paid off because Alicia is able to fence with him. She gets stabbed at one point in between her breasts, but it doesn't kill her, David.
It was her breast? I thought it was her side.
Like literally here. And you think she would be dead normally, right? No. She has enough strength to pull herself up and crush that guy's head after Rudy slices it off. It's so funny because her chest is open by her breasts and she's got this big open thing, but magically she's...
Well, here's the thing. She is dead.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I guess what you're referring to is she was still able to will herself to get up.
One more
strike.
And she smashed his head, which actually looked good. It was
to kill the bad guy, because you later find out that Rudy gave her whatever the elixir to...
He must have poured it right into that hole.
Is that what brings apart House of the Dead too? Because she turns.
You end up seeing, you think she's dead, and then you see him and her walking arm in arm. She has her chest is all cut up still, but these people come in, I don't know, trench coats. I don't know if it's supposed to be the military or something.
The Umbrella Corporation.
Yeah, somebody. Something like so. Again, the voiceover returns, David.
Who knows what our future will hold?
I don't know if I did what I did is bad.
I feel guilty because of what happened. It was a nightmare. So many dead, so many victims, and people that were my friends. And now we go home. Me and Alicia, or whatever she is now, whatever I've created. God ain't love a bitch. Is this the end? Or only the beginning?
So, from what I gather and remember from this sequel, like I said, directed TV, David, none of the original actors besides Cynthia came back.
Woman's not named.
I know, poor Casper! Poor Casper. But you know what they end up having is Alicia's actress is not the same woman. They just have her as a zombie in a room. So she's just a rotten corpse. They're using, I guess, her to make the zombies then. So that is how it spreads to the mainland.
Okay. So this is is very much the Umbrella Corporation playing God.
It is like the Umbrella Corp. Yeah, the Umbrella
so
Corporation.
Then,
although Resident Evil's doing much better, I'm assuming, probably with everything all over the House of the Dead.
I wonder if the House of the Dead zombies met the
Resident Evil.
Would they have would they clash?
Because usually the Resident Evil zombies are slow. Besides the creatures that come,
Resident Evil zombies are slow and they are not cognitive.
Yes. So to your point earlier, David, I felt like these zombies were very in the vein of mentally Return of the Living Dead because they were smart and they were able to do like send more paramedics.
Yeah.
So that is kind of like that. And I guess the rave.
I guess my question is,
why was this made?
Out of this whole thing, for this Castillo character, what was his point? Why wouldn't he just get off the island and live his best undead life, going through doing whatever he wants to do?
Right. And he looked good when he hung himself and came back to life. So I guess that doesn't last. Then maybe that's what it is. The flesh didn't last. The body.
Oh, maybe he needed the skin because he had a reed skin.
Maybe that's what it is. He's been waiting for a long time for these beautiful people.
He wanted to be a woman. Oh
my God.
Here we go. He wanted her skin.
Like we said, the breasts. This was funny. David and I just actually saw this. There's a director's cut. It's entitled The Funny Version. And before the movie starts, it includes deleted footage. Instead, before the movie plays, our director, he plays himself, is kidnapped and strapped to a chair, and his kidnappers force him to watch this film as a form of torture. So he's in on the joke, but at the same time, David,
I'm sure the studio spending how many millions of dollars was not in on the joke.
I think they barely made back their budget.
Like if it was $20 million, they got $17.5 million.
Oh my
God, or some kind of a
it's
thing.
horrible.
Like, it was like.
He is infamous. He's known to make worst movies ever made. Okay, I get it. It's not an award-winning thing. On our Radical show, we usually do.
I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, again, it's 90 minutes, I guess, around 90 minutes.
Yeah. It's fast.
Is it a work of art? Is it something that I would be like, yes, let me put that on my top 10 things I would want to see? No, if I never see it again, I wouldn't be sad about it. But for what it was, it was.
Right.
And if you like that sort of thing, some people may really enjoy that, like, and they might enjoy that type of cinematography where the spinning, which is obviously not
now it's gone.
It's a dead art, I guess, if you want to call it that. No pun intended.
This movie killed it, David.
If things of that nature, so yeah, I think that don't expect it to be. It's not Tomb Raider quality.
No, the acting is not good,
and it's not. You're not getting Mila Jovovich either.
No,
like, this is not Resident Evil.
And people even mention Mila, her acting ability. To me, she is like an Academy Award-winning actress compared to some of the people in this movie.
I honestly,
but it didn't need to be. It didn't need to be Academy
Award. We're not doing that right now. But what is wrong with her acting? I think she's phenomenal for what it is. I think she's believable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think because they say she's one note, but to me, I've seen her do other things.
But that is her character.
Yeah, that is Alice.
I mean, if you've ever seen her on interviews, she's engaging. She smiles. She's funny.
She's actually very like goofy.
Yeah, she is. And she sings too.
And she sings, like David said, the gentleman who fell before the claws. Yes, I'm going to invoke the Italian horror movies again. While I feel like they have that same cheesiness and that nudity and things like that, this did have a cohesive story in the sense of it made sense. We knew these people were coming to the island. We knew from the first minute that everyone was going to die besides Rudy because he told us. So you enjoy the ride. You enjoy the action.
And if anything you get out of this, I want you to start watching Cynthia Rothrock.
Yeah, movies, honestly.
Such as Lady Dragon, China O'Brien.
Oh my God.
No Retreat, No Surrender 1 and 2. Martial Law, Lady Dragon 2.
She made a lot of movies,
She
right?
did. Sword of Justice, Tiger Claws, Yes Madam.
Tiger Claws.
Righting Wrongs. Undefeatable.
She's honestly, it looks just like this.
Didn't she? Oh my God, they keep going. Rage of Honor. Magic Crystal, the last, I can't even say that. No Retreat, Martial Law 2. She must be queen. Tiger Claw 2. She's a queen of sequels, apparently. Honor and Glory. China O'Brien 2. Oh, I didn't even know.
You're kidding me.
Tiger Claw 3. Look at it. It just keeps going.
Guardian Angel.
It's like, I'm not even reading half of them. Fight to Win. American Tiger.
We need another sequel.
It just keeps
David,
going.
Radical Ones, that's it. You know, we were going to go over our summer themes. No, we're doing Cynthia Rothrock
movies.
Summer.
I think she actually was in an action movie with
Van Damme?
Brandon Lee. And maybe even Van Damme. But anyway, let me start on that. But I had such a crush on him. The horrible, horrible Crow killing.
Oh, Brandon Lee and the Crow. Yeah, that was horrible.
But
we got to do a Cynthia movie. Maybe we'll do a Tiger Claw 1, 2, 3 trilogy in our next season.
You mean not China O'Brien?
Actually, she's got 2 of them too, right? 2 China O'Brien.
And she's got like 4 of the movies have 3 or 4 sequels.
She came up a few episodes ago because Rob said that Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat, her moves were based on Cynthia Rothrock's moves. So Cynthia is the real Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat.
I just remember her being very petite.
She's a thin blonde woman, right?
No, she's short. She's very short.
And she possibly was in this movies as Casper.
I mean, she could.
As
a kid, I remember her being so short. Maybe I'm wrong, that she could have tried out for Leprechaun. She's so short. I feel like she was very short.
So she's a small lady.
She's very petite, but
she fights.
She
fights like
she's China O'Brien. She's Tiger Claw.
I just want to know
1 through 7.
Tiger Claw.
But anyway.
Oh my God.
I guess this isn't about House of the Dead anymore.
As we end the episode to the House of the Dead rap song. Coming to the House of the Dead. Don't copyright strike us, YouTube. Radical Wines, this might be a little quicker than usual because besides our weird setup, I think we covered basically the meat and potatoes of this movie. Yes, there were little character moments. It didn't matter.
No,
they all died.
There is multiple different fight scenes on different terrains.
Yeah. Yeah, they go from the jungle to the beach to the house. To the house.
To that, so...
You get a little variety with your zombies.
Just remember, people, don't go to islands that are called dead.
And listen to the fencer.
And learn fencing.
Although...
Well, it did help.
Rudy's the only one who really was the winner from this. Him and his studying. Radical Ones, let us know. We will really do Cynthia movies. I mean, this might have just inspired a whole thing. Maybe she'll come on the show where we can get her. Maybe we can get her to do China Claw. No, China...
No, it's what was it?
Lady China.
No, it's China O'Brien.
China O'Brien. So
no,
she's an Irish. There you go. She's a leprechaun.
China O'Brien 2, 3. My God. Rage and Honor. No,
but
retreat.
What is
Lady Dragon 2 and 3 and 4?
What is 10. The plot of the first?
Yes, madam.
What is Tiger Claws about? Let's say Tiger Claws. 1980. Is that 19?
Where's the
Claude
Corpse Clue Police Detective?
What?
Cynthia Rothrock to a killer of martial artists in New York. So she has to go undercover and be a martial artist to find out the killer.
That's it. Radical Ones.
Wait a minute. Let's see what China O'Brien is just. As an urban policewoman, no typecasting here, Cynthia Rothrock returns to Utah and becomes a sheriff to avenge her slain father with Kung Fu.
Oh my God, we might have to do a poll. Should we do China Claw or should we do
China O'Brien? China O'Brien 2. Oh my God. China O'Brien, the collection.
I'm actually interested in the New York, especially her going to New York undercover. The corpse cop.
Because they're, I guess, police are being killed, being targeted. Kung Fu police officers are being. What's yes, madam? All right, we got to stop. We got to end this.
Oh my God.
A relentless inspector and a Scotland Yard detective investigate murder linked to microfilm?
They really just came up with any weird plot just to probably get her to start kicking butt and taking names later. They're probably like, just make it Tiger Claw 3 and just send her to Utah.
Everything is revenge. An old master heals a Left 4 Dead widow, Cynthia Rothrock, and teaches her how to kickbox for revenge.
Oh, that's great.
That's Lady Dragon.
Do any of these call out to you, Radical Ones?
I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Was she in a movie called Terminator Woman?
It's not even Terminator. She got to get the knockoff. Terminator Woman.
An international white slaver kidnaps a Los Angeles policewoman.
Oh, you're here to experience.
Who knows how to kickbox.
Oh no,
She's been doing Pilates.
She learned that kickboxing for one movie.
I learned it by watching you. So it's all about her seeking revenge for wronging the rights by using kung fu. I love it.
Maybe we can call it summer revenge.
It's like when they Drew Barrymore did the remake of the Charlie's Angels, and like Demi Moore was there, and she's like, "In my day, we used guns. Remember, they only
they only did kung fu. Yeah,
or martial arts.
That's
or
right.
Whatever. That's funny.
But I rather, honestly, if I could have the martial arts skill, would be good, along with the gun.
Cynthia Rothrock. Okay, she's avenging people.
We are doing a movie. We got to figure it out. I working on, of course, the schedule for next year. So Radical Ones.
It's not like we would run out of movies with her.
We could do
she has
a year of her
seven sequels.
Every week a new sequel. See where her Lady Dragon training went. So, Radical Ones, that was another episode of our podcast. We hope you're enjoying our video game summer. We hope you enjoyed this, Cynthia. I gotta learn how to say her name. Roth.
Like a rock.
Oh, Rothrock. Oh, I wonder if that's a stage name or if that's really her name. We hope you enjoyed this conversation of her House of the Dead. And you can always...
Policewoman Cynthia Rothrock goes to a deserted island to avenge the killing of her sister, Liberty.
Why couldn't they bring Liberty back? Yeah, of all the characters. She survived. So you can always reach David at Universal Appeal 2020, all one word. And the Radical Retro Rewind podcast, one word, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and beyond. We are still looking for 20 reviews by the end of the summer. As of recording, we are at 18 on Apple. And Radical Ones, if you are an Apple user, we ask if you can please leave a written review. We actually have some of our Radical Ones did try, but they're not Apple users. So we need you Apple iPhone users to...
absolutely. And on YouTube, thumbs
up, yes.
Thumbs up, leave us a message.
Share the podcast. If you enjoyed this discussion,
that's how we grow.
We definitely will be bringing you more. Next week, I don't even know what we have. Our Thundercats fans, we are working on our 5-part episode. Do not fear, do not fret. We will bring you that. And David, as always, stay radical.
Everything is a weapon. Don't go to an island that's named after
the Island of the Dead.
And learn how to fence.
Learn how to fence and where...
And even if your boyfriend breaks up with you, that skill will serve you well.
It will. It
might not save you, but it'll certainly prolong your life.
And breast implants, honestly.
Amen.
Until next time, Radical Ones.
Keep on gaming. And look up Cynthia Rothrock.
This is free.